Sleep Number Bed had really nice salespeople in the store, but they did not disclose all of the costs up front. And the process of returning a mattress, if you decide you don't want to keep it, is not disclosed up front either. And so my biggest complaint was that, which ended up costing us $200 to just return it. Although it could have cost more if I hadn't been so stubborn with their corporate customer service people. I don't remember exactly how we decided on Sleep Number, but we went to a local store, looked around, did a little bit of shopping. I think we went to 2 different stores, ended up deciding to buy a Sleep Number mattress. They had a deal going on at the time. Pretty good deal. I mean, and we chose one of their mattresses, about a middle of the road price range mattress. And I think it's 100 days, or it might have been 120 days tryout period, and if you don't like it, you can return it, no questions asked, all that kind of stuff. We were in the store doing all of our shopping and selection, but I think the actual purchase was made over the phone through the store when we decided, after going to a couple of places, that's what we wanted to get. So there wasn't any agreement signed. There was paperwork that came with the mattress, and when we completed the transaction, but we didn't sign any agreements, and the whole return process was never explained to us. No, that's not true. It was explained. It was explained like this: you can return it, no questions asked, get your money back. So I was like, all right, well, this seems pretty safe. And so we tried out the mattress. Delivery happened. Everything went fine until we decided to return it, because it just wasn't what we ended up wanting. And then they wanted to charge us all kinds of extra money. And the return policy and the monies they want to charge were not explained to us at the beginning or at any point in the process. It was on the paperwork that they gave us, like some kind of a, I used to work in sales, so I'm familiar with this, but I don't know what they call it. But when you sell big ticket items, appliances and things, there's certain things that the store will do for the customer that the store won't do for the customer, and you make sure the customer knows that, and they sign the paper, and you keep that in your file so you can say, hey, look, you signed the agreement later on. We didn't sign anything, and we never knew about it until we tried to return it. So there was a $200 return fee that they wanted to charge us, and then they wanted to try to charge after that part of the sale price that we had gotten. They wanted to kind of tack that on, so we would end up having to pay $400 one way or the other, either by withholding part of the refund or charging money. One way or the other, they wanted to get about $400 back from us in order to return the mattress. That was going to be a restocking fee and a pickup takedown fee and all that. So I was able to get out of half of that, but it took a lot of phone calls to their customer service department and talking to managers. I mean, a couple of hours, a couple of 2-hour different phone calls at least. And that's it. It's just, there were 2 main things which really ticked me off about the whole thing. The one that in the store, the fact that they wanted to charge you a return fee was not part of it. You get your money back, but then they're going to take $200 off the refund for the pickup and return fee. And then that was never explained. At any point until we decided, okay, we're not gonna keep it, And then the second thing that kind of bothered me after the fact was the delivery and setup fee that they charged that we did have to pay. That was non-refundable. That was at the beginning of it, and I told them I didn't need any installation. I could handle that myself. I'm pretty handy. It's not that complicated. And they made it sound as if it really was. And they really needed their people to do it. And, you never know what kind of situation you're going to get when you walk into someone's house and see what kind of bed platform they have. Well, as it turns out, it was not complicated at all. And it just was stupid that they made you pay for that. And they don't give you an option not to pay for it. They tell you that you have to pay for delivery and setup if you want to be able to return the mattress. So, but that's not included in the literature up front. So I just think those practices are a little silly. I don't like people playing games with marketing and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of like, if the mattress price is $1,000, but you're never going to allow the customer to not get it delivered, then just say it's $1,200 and it includes delivery and setup, because you can't. They wouldn't let you get out of that, So don't say it's $1,000, and then when they say, okay, we're going to buy this $1,000 mattress, okay, it'll be $1,000 plus delivery and setup, which is $200. Well, I don't want. I'll just set it up myself. Oh no, that's not an option. Well, then just include it up front. That kind of bothered me. But I let them talk me into it. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Now I would. But when it turns out, I wasn't home when they delivered it, and I wasn't home when they eventually came and picked it up. My wife told me that when they delivered it, they basically unwrapped, they took it out of the box or whatever, unwrapped it, laid it out on our bed, plugged it in. That's not that complicated. They hook up a couple of hoses, they plug it into the wall, they turn it on. Okay, everything works. Then they clean up and leave. To me, that's not worth $200. And when they came and collected it, they kind of did the same thing reverse, except they didn't even box it back up. She said they just unplugged it as it is, just grabbed all the stuff, two guys threw it in the back of a truck or a van or whatever and drove away. And for that, they wanted to charge $200 on the back end. I was able to get out of that, but that's the long and short of it. I just, not good communication. They have these stores everywhere, but kind of all the sales are done through the corporate site, I guess. And they have these local warehouses or facilities which either manufacture them when you order it, or they have it in a warehouse and then they pull it out of the warehouse to deliver it. But very nice salespeople up front, very nice, very, easy to get along with, but not all the information was disclosed. And we definitely never signed an agreement, which was included in the mattress delivery, but just sort of like, oh, by the way, here's some information we probably should have told you 2 weeks ago when you ordered this thing. And I was really kind of using that when I was on the phone with them and they wanted to not let me do what I wanted to do. I had to really go up to the top. I don't know how many different managers I talked to, and I don't know if I even talked to managers. You know how they do that, but I just kept pushing to talk to different managers, and I kept pushing the fact that I never signed anything, and they don't have anything with my signature on file. They can look all they want. They just don't have it. And I think that eventually convinced somebody to let me get out of half of the fees. We basically lost $200 and some change on the whole deal. But they wanted us to basically lose $400. Real simple. When they say that it's going to be a 100-day or 120-day no questions return policy, just make sure, I guess, just ask to see how that works, the details, because they do explain it on their website. If you go on the website, you'll see it, but they don't explain it in the store. And we didn't see it in writing until after the purchase was made, because that purchase, when you want to return it, they're going to want to charge you $200 to pick it up and return it. And they won't let you just return it yourself. So make sure you ask how that process works before you buy it. That's the simplest way that I would say to cover your bases there. I guess the other thing I would say is when they talk about the setup fee and everything, I don't know if they'll ever allow that not to be the case, but I guess I could have, personally, the way I am, I should have pushed harder to get to the bottom of that and see if, what does setup involve? Show me right here in the store. Well, why am I paying $200 for that? And then personally, I think that knowing what I know now, if I ever had this kind of situation to come up again, I just wouldn't purchase it. If they said, oh yeah, you got to pay $200 for setup, and I learned what that setup entailed, I'd say, there's no way I'm paying $200 for that. And if I can't get out of that price, that cost, then I'm just not going to purchase your product. That's just me. Not everybody may think the same way about that particular thing, but that kind of bothers me because they don't include it until you decide to purchase it. And then they say, okay, and it'll be an extra $200. I mean, for a $100,000 mattress or a $5,000 mattress, I don't know. I don't like that kind of thing. Be upfront about the costs. I don't think the product is terrible. We decided it wasn't for us. It's a pretty unique product in the mattress world. But if they had just been upfront about it, I would have not been so angry when I discovered how much it would cost me to simply say, I don't want this mattress. We're within the trial period. Please take it back. If they had been upfront, I would have been okay. I would have just, my eyes would have been open. I would have been able to make a better decision at the beginning whether we wanted to take this chance or not. Other mattress companies don't do that. I do know this. They don't have these same issues. Now, maybe it's because Sleep Number has this mechanism as part of the mattress, but still, I think it's a little excessive. And then I wish they had been upfront about the return process. All they kept saying over and over again was, you can return it within this trial period, no questions asked. The only question that I didn't ask was, will it cost us money to return it? No, well, they didn't. I didn't ask that, so they didn't say no, but they just kept saying full refund, full refund. They mean full refund of the purchase price, but they'll charge you a fee of pickup and takedown, which they'll either charge you, to your credit card or take it out of the refund before they give you the refund. You don't get the money, by the way, until after they've got it back in their store or their factory, and I guess they've inspected it to make sure you haven't deliberately damaged it or something like that. But I don't know what they do with them after somebody sleeps on it and says, I don't want it anymore. But